I will teach you a very crazy opening that can get you some crazy quick wins, which is the Halloween Gambit. And I will show you this in 3 different steps. So we're going to take a look at 3 different variations. So this opening starts off with e4, e5, knight to f3, then black plays knight to c6, and we go for the 3 knights game. So this is called the 3 knights game simply because there are 3 knights here, and usually black will play knight to f6 and we will get this, which is known as the 4 knights game. And here we can play the Halloween Gambit, which is knight takes e5, and this is a completely crazy move. I'm not gonna say this is solid and this should be your main repertoire, but you can definitely use this online to win some rating points against people who don't expect this. So knight takes e5, we are basically grabbing a pawn and somewhat of course forcing black to take. Black doesn't have to take, but if they don't, we just got a free central pawn. So yeah, then black is also losing. So we are going to look at what happens if black takes. So we will play pawn to d4. And the entire goal here is to keep chasing these knights and keep winning tempos, while also putting black in a really bad position so we can try to win some material or even do a checkmate. So here there are basically 3 variations that I will cover, and that are those 3 steps that I talked about. So there is knight to c6, which is the most played variation, but not the best one. There is actually also knight to g6, which is about 40% of games, and that is one of the better responses. And there is also the move knight to g4, which is not super common, but it's good to know what to do against this. So those are the only options. So first we are going to take a look at this. Knight to c6, we just play pawn to d4, immediately attacking the knight. If we look at this, there is not much choice for black. Usually black will play knight to e5. I mean, this square is already taken up. Going here also isn't so good because we are just going to play pawn to a3. The knight's going to get chased away again. Probably going to end up here. We can chase this knight away. Yeah, and it's just really problematic. You can see that the black knights are just at the edge of the board again. Everything has been reset. And white can actually go for some aggressive play. We have a center here. We can develop our pieces. We can be really aggressive in this opening. But most of the time you are going to see knight going here to e5. And then we are just going to continue. Pawn to f4. We are going to keep attacking black. So black has to move. And this time black is pretty much forced into this knight g6 variation. And that is why the earlier knight g6 is a little bit better by black, because the knight's gonna end up there anyways. It's better to end up there like this than ending up there like this, because we just got some extra free moves as white. But we're not gonna stop. Pawn to e5. And of course this is protected, and also this square is protected. Same goes for these squares. So this knight is really in trouble. The knight's gotta go. The knight actually has to go back to g8, so that's just insane. We get this really big center, the knight has to go back. Sometimes players try to play those queen e7 lines against the Halloween Gambit. This never really works for black, just because most of the time you can just play something like queen e2, and this just sets up the same thing again, and then black has to move the knight, and usually, yeah, black is in a lot of trouble. For example, after pawn to d6, the queen is under attack. What is the queen gonna do? You might say, well, what if they just capture here? But then all of a sudden, bam, knight e5 attacking the queen. The queen doesn't really have any squares. Of course, this check also doesn't work. So yeah, the queen probably has to go back. And then here we have a crazy line, knight c7 check, which is a fork. And if the queen takes, we have pawn takes here with check. And we are also winning the queen. So just to show you, if black goes for those early queen e7s, it's usually not going to end well for black. So knight has to go back, otherwise black is in a lot of trouble. I don't think there's much else. Of course, black can always just decide like, okay, I'm going to give back the knight, I don't care anymore. That's also possible. But probably black wants to hold on to the advantage. So knight to g8. So we are going to continue being really aggressive. Pawn to d6. And you might be thinking, why pawn to d6? This is such a strange move, like you're just going to get this exchange. Yes, but look at the position for black. The black pieces barely have anywhere they can move. Like this bishop is stuck, the bishop can't go here, the knight is a bit oddly placed, and we will still in many variations try to go for this knight c7 check as well. And there are so many tactics here, I can't even show them all. Just so many plans for white. Black can do many things. Of course, black can always go wrong as well. in many variations. For example, if they play knight to f6, that's already pretty problematic. They get this check, and they basically have to block with a piece and give back some material. So it's really easy for black to go wrong. I can't show you every line, but if you take a quick look at this, and if you're good at tactics, you will be able to destroy black with this opening. One of the best tries for black is actually queen f6, because all of a sudden, there's a double threat. There are two pawns that are attacked twice each and both protected once. So basically 2 pawns that black could try to win. And we don't really want to let black get away with this, develop pieces and win even more material. So the plan here that I think is the best is to go for the queen check. And this queen check is always annoying for black because they can't really block with a piece. Otherwise we will capture it. I mean, they can move the king, but yeah, it doesn't really feel right because of course the knight can attack this, also protect this. The queen can't capture, so the queen has to move. And yeah, you get something like this maybe. And you can even play bishop to e3, setting up this trap that again we get this check and we also win the queen. And of course, let's just make a random move. Still, for example, knight g5, and you can just see that black is so cramped and black's going to be in trouble. If they take this free pawn, also a check, and we are winning the queen. So it's just a big mess for black in many of these lines. So after queen f6, if we give this check, I think the best option for black is to play queen to e6, which blocks the check. And then you can go for knight b5. And again, we are just going for tricks all the way through. Knight b5 going for the fork. How is black gonna stop this? I'm not sure. There's not that much. Maybe black's gonna trade, try to play king to d8. I think that's one of the only ways really to stop this. We are gonna play bishop e3, now threatening to capture this. So black has to play b6 and then we are gonna castle. And this is where I will end this first step, so this first line. Just to show you that there are so many tricks. Black will have never seen this probably and they will just make a mistake, especially if you're playing blitz or bullet chess. Black's gonna mess up, black's gonna give away material or even give away a checkmate. So we're gonna now take a look at step 2. So this is the second plan that you need to know, which is again e4, e5, we develop the knights, all of this, bam, we sack the knight, Halloween Gambit, and we play d4. Now we are gonna look at knight g6 immediately, which is of course a bit similar, but there are some differences since we didn't get this early pawn to f4 push. So here we can play e5, again kicking away this knight, and if you look at this, the knight basically has no choice. The knight has to go back to g8. Again, sometimes your opponents will try to be tricky, play the queen to e7 so that they can pin your pawn so you can't capture the knight, but it doesn't really work. Against this, it's actually best to even develop the bishop instead of your queen, and this just sets up the threat once again because the knight still has to move. So the knight still has to go back. Black didn't really achieve anything except for blocking in their own bishop and also allowing some tricks with the knight. So yeah, it's not really good. You can, for example, play h4. If black takes this, the position gets completely bonkers. For example, knight here, knight check, we move the king, queen has to go, we take this knight. I don't know, like this is crazy, this is madness. Black can also play pawn to h5, which is way more common. And this leads to some really nasty tricks as well. For example, bishop g5, attacking the queen. And of course, yeah, the queen's gotta go, but the queen doesn't really have that many squares, so probably black's gonna block with f6, the most played move. Bam, again, we attack the queen. We also threaten to do this fork, so the queen wants to go here, so the queen can protect from this fork, which is a terrible mistake by black, because now, boop, we take this pawn, we pin the knight, and black's just losing. Black probably has to move the king, or they can also sack the rook, but it doesn't really help. And even after they move the king, we have takes with a check, check with the queen, and we just play h5. And this is just checkmate on the next move. For example, after they take the bishop, we just have a checkmate because the queen covers this and the knight is also aiding. So just all this to say queen e7 doesn't work, so don't worry about this. Black has to play knight back to g8 most likely. And in this line we have some other tricks. I think bishop c4 is an interesting one here because we just set up some extra pressure here against the king. And still, if you look at this, white achieved 4 pieces already, at least 2 pawns and 2 pieces in the center. And black, yeah, black doesn't have anything except for the extra material that's yeah, not here anymore, but it doesn't really matter. Black might play something like bishop b4. This is just the most common line. We can try to go for a checkmate. So black has to block this, maybe with the queen. and then we can just castle. And of course, this is also very dangerous because this sets up some tricks. Oops, yeah, this sets up some tricks with the knight. So black might want to go for something like this. And okay, I know we are still down a full knight, but would you look at this? We actually have a really good center. We have some attacking chances. We are castled. You just give away a knight, but you do have some compensation. As I said, don't play this in serious rapid games or over the board games, but I think especially online, this is a really funny opening. Black also wants to castle, but I mean the knight doesn't really have a good way to move. Most players will play knight to h6, just bam bam, we take this, destroy the structure, we try to grab this extra pawn, and many players here, as black, go wrong. They play queen to g5, which loses on the spot as well, so black usually doesn't know how to respond to this opening. f4, we attack the queen has to move, and now you have something like rook here to e1, and the reason why this is winning, of course, if you didn't notice, white just has such a superior structure. The black position is all damaged, the king is unsafe, so there will always be tactics here. White can always start pushing, start opening lines, everything is going to collapse and black will lose. And then we only have step 3 left. Which is again our main position. Bam, we play the Halloween Gambit and the knight goes to g4. How are we going to deal with this? Pretty straightforward. We are going to play pawn to e5, attack the knight. If the knight's probably got to go, but if the knight goes, yeah, black's just losing this knight. So now black is in some kind of zugzwang, which means this is not really a good move to play, because whatever move they play, they are going to lose material. They might try to hold on with something like queen e7, which is always very common, trying to be sneaky, trying to pin the pawn, but yeah, we always just block with something, and this sets up the attack on the knight, the attack on this knight. So still, it's up to black to really do something here. Black doesn't have a lot of choices. Many players will even go crazy here and just sacrifice the knight. Knight takes e5, pawn takes e5, and we just won the material back. And white is actually in a superior position. White here is just going to win the game. Other options are also possible. If black actually studied this, they might go for something else. If black studied this, they might, after we play the queen to e2, decide to play pawn to d6, which is basically the only variation that doesn't completely ruin the game for black. But if this happens, it's pretty simple. I mean, take the knight, they take your queen, you take this, and they might take this. And now we just have a completely equal position. The material is equal again, so everything is fine. It's like nothing ever happened, and we can just keep playing this. And I think even white is slightly better here. So that is how you can play the Halloween Gambit. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!